What's up and good morning, guys? Welcome back to another video. We've got a few projects going on around the house today, one of which being, back when I bought this place, this entire side area over here was all gravel. I mean, still is gravel, but the gravel kind of stretched all the way back over to the other fence over there. I came in and put in a bunch of grass and then kept just scooting the gravel down, but I'm really sick of having the gravel here because, well, rolling the trash cans on it sucks. And then every time the trash man grabs the trash cans, he takes a bunch of gravel with it and lines it all in the alley over there. And it's just really annoying. So what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna put in DG, or decomposed granite. And what that is kind of like that material you see on jogging paths around parks and stuff like that. It compacts really well, compacts really hard. And it'll just be a nice surface until at some point, maybe I eventually end up putting concrete here or whatever I decide to do, I'm not sure yet. And then on the other side of the yard, I built this seating wall a long time ago, knowing that at some point I'm building a fire pit right here. As you can see, the plumbing is stubbed up right there for the gas line. Obviously, that hasn't been built. It's been about, I'd say, 6 years, and I still haven't built the fire pit. But anyways, the plan for the backside of the seating wall is that this is going to be a planter and, I don't know, some type of plants or vegetables or, I don't know. Something's going to be growing back there. So finally today, 6 years later, that's all going to get filled in with topsoil, and we'll hopefully get some plants in at some point in the next couple weeks. So we're currently waiting on the guys to show up. It's kind of a slow day today, and they're going to come over and lend me a hand. And then we're also waiting on the delivery of the decomposed granite, as well as the topsoil that's going to be filling in the planter over there. So while we wait for everybody and everything to arrive, I think we need to discuss a huge announcement that's just been made in the truck community that all of us have kind of been on edge and waiting for. So let's make our way back here into Work For It World headquarters and really sit down and talk about this. So obviously what we're talking about, based on the reason you clicked on this video, is the L5P Duramax. And I feel like I should at some point either get like a bigger TV or I need like a full wall green screen. Hopefully if we end up moving to the warehouse, I'll have like this big dedicated filming area to do videos like this. Now the L5P Duramax has been a truck that has been heavily talked about over the last couple of years. It was introduced in 2017 as GM's new generation of Duramax engines. And while there are definitely differences between the L5P and the LML, the previous generation Duramax 2, we're not going to really get into the mechanical differences. More so what we're going to get into in this video, obviously, is the computer difference, the ECMs. Now there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the L5P, and mainly it's been tied to its tunability. Obviously, in a diesel engine post-emissions, people have been really trying to figure out ways to tune them, to make them run better, to make them run more reliable, and to just get more horsepower, torque, fuel economy, whatever reason you want to tune it out. The best part about a diesel is that just the tuner alone, you can get massive gains in horsepower, torque, fuel economy versus a gas engine, whereas the tuner doesn't do as much. So obviously, every previous generation of Duramax, pre-L5P, there has been a way to tune them. Now, as the rumors started circling about the L5P, everybody started getting really excited. There were bigger horsepower gains, bigger torque gains from the previous model, which led people to believe the second you tune something that's already got bigger horsepower gains in the previous generation, you're going to have one monster of a diesel engine. GM made it very clear from the beginning, once they released the L5P, that this ECM, or basically the brain for the engine, is uncrackable. You're not going to be able to get into it to tune it. You're not going to be able to do a single thing with it. I remember reading somewhere in the forums that people were calling it NSA level encryption. Basically, the code is always different every single time you try and access it, and it's different for every vehicle, which essentially would mean somebody trying to mass produce a tuner that could get into that code, it would be next to impossible. And that's where everybody freaked out and said, well, I guess with the L5P we have the death of being able to tune a diesel engine from the factory. And I myself was a big naysayer. I was like, well, this is it, guys. I mean, it's never going to happen. We're done. And just basically on what I was reading, saying that it's just so hard. It's going to take so much money. Companies just don't want to invest that type of money into it. It's just going to be a big crazy thing if it ever could happen, and the chances weren't looking good. And if you guys remember, when my Silverado was wrecked, I had to go buy a new truck. And I actually put out an extensive search to find the lowest mile 2016 Duramax that I could find because I wanted that tunability option to still be there versus going out and buying a brand new, which would have been 2017 at the time, L5P. So now we're into a couple of years of the L5P being out there. And up until very, very recently, it was still just as grim. There's still a couple rumors circling around. There's a couple people that claim they've seen an L5P deleted driving around. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people swap the L5P hood onto an older model Duramax. I know Duramax Jack did that. So there may be some kind of... So it may almost be like a UFO sighting of people thinking they saw an L5P that had black smoke coming out of it. It must have been a deleted L5P, but there's also a very good chance that it was just somebody that did a hood swap. But as of a couple of days ago, here's where we're going to get into the big news drop on what's going to happen with the tunability and kind of the future of diesel engines based on what's happening with the L5P. So let's dive straight into what I think is really, really great news. But first, I think we need to take a step back and talk about some of the options that came out pre what I'm about to tell you, because obviously I know some people are going to throw that out in the comments. Yes, Banks did have the Derringer tuner, I believe it is, and that's not a true like ECM plug into your OBD2 port, send a tune to your truck's computer tune. That was kind of an inline thing. It just really changed your fuel to air ratio just a little bit. And I think you ended up getting 500 horsepower, but that was not to the wheels, that was to the crank. So yes, you got a little bit of a gain, but it was, and it's better than nothing, but it was just not a true tuner in the sense that we're talking about in this video. So over the last week, we've seen EasyLink, who makes the modules that you can control on your phone to be able to download tunes to your phone, send them to your truck, check your gauges and all that, released a model for the L5P. And they were kind of the first to break into the fact that something bigger is coming. So they released that, I'd say, about a week ago. And everybody kind of got some buzz drawn up on it. But from what we were all understanding is you really couldn't do a whole lot with it yet. So then fast forward to a couple days ago when we got the huge news from HP Tuners. They had posted a teaser video saying something big was coming for the L5P, but they didn't announce what it was. So a couple days later, they revealed that they are talking about an ECM exchange service. Now, basically what they're doing, and kind of the way that people had structured it before when they were talking about the L5P, is they said the only way, if possible, that you're going to be able to get in and tune these things is you're going to have to replace the factory ECM, or the factory computer, basically, for the engine, because the factory one, you're just screwed and you're not going to be able to crack it. And well, HP Tuner did just that. So they put out the big press release saying, hey, we now have a proprietary ECM that we are releasing that we will swap out for your factory one, and that will allow you to tap into a couple of different tuning services. Now mind you, when you do the ECM swap with them, there are no tunes in the one that they're giving to you. Now up until about, I would say, literally 30 minutes ago, that's how kind of up to date and quickly this stuff is changing, it was looking like you were going to have to take the exchange ECM to the dealer to have certain things kind of reflashed to that ECM to work on your vehicle, because there's an immobilizer built into your vehicle that if the ECM is removed, things start to get weird. Well, literally 30 minutes ago, PBEI just released some of the first tuned numbers for an L5P, leaving all the emissions intact. Also, they've added that they were able to get around the immobilizer, which means now you're going to be able to get an ECM that has already been flashed with the tunes from PBEI, and it's just going to be plug and play in your truck, which is freaking awesome. So PBEI just posted their numbers for their beta tune, emissions intact, which came out to about 526 horsepower, and just over 1,060 foot-pounds of torque, which are pretty big numbers. And they also say they have plenty of air and fuel left to mess with when they're riding their and they foresee being able to tune the L5Ps up to about 550 horsepower with the emissions intact. Now let's kind of jump into what all this is going to cost, and this is where you might want to take a seat, because this is not a cheap setup to go with, at least not yet. And obviously, you know, first to the market, they're going to charge what they want to charge until there starts to be some competition. If there ever is any competition, that's just how the world works. So currently right now, to swap your ECM, it is $2,500. Now all $2,500 gets is you need to mail in your factory ECM. They will send you a, I don't know what they're calling it, an unlocked ECM. I don't know if that's quite the true word for it. But that ECM basically comes with nothing. So you then need to purchase tunes. You need to have the tunes installed on the ECM, and you need to go through a few other hurdles, which essentially means to get this ECM onto your truck with tunes in it, currently, you are looking at about a $4,000 investment. I know, that's crazy. You heard that right, $4,000. Now, mind you, that is not a deleted tune. That is an emissions attack tune. Now, if you want to go with an off-road only race tune, emissions deleted, you are going to need other things as well. You're going to need an exhaust, you're going to need a lift pump, you're going to need a downpipe depending on what your setup is, and maybe a couple of other things. So that number is going to be looking pretty expensive. You're probably in the $6,000 to $7,000 range by the time everything's said and done, and that's to delete an L5P currently. And I know the reason everybody clicked on this is because that's everybody's main goal. Now mind you, Corey over at PBEI spends a ton of money getting emission certifications and doing a bunch of stuff to be able to provide us emissions compliant tunes, or at least to be able to push these vehicles as much as he can within the limits of the law. So with his release, he also put out the statement to not abuse the off-road race tunes. And I really do agree with him, because before the whole big like roll coal movement took place and everybody was running around smoking people out left and right, I get it, it's fun, but when you're posting video after video after video, you draw the attention of the EPA and all that, and that's kind of where everything really started to tighten down. You know, it's kind of like the train horn things. When everybody posts videos of people getting scared with train horns, well, eventually they're going to start to crack down on train horns. It's just, that's just the way the world works. So I know with social media, everybody wants to be cool and be hip and be on the next big thing, but the more you post that kind of stuff, the more attention you draw to it and the more regulations we're going to get for it. So I really do respect Corey for kind of putting that out in his post to say, you know what, don't abuse the off-road race-only tunes. And because I can already hear you guys eager to type out the comments saying, well, I bet you regret not buying an L5P now, and the answer is I really don't. I bought a tried and true platform that I knew was tunable, and I didn't want to risk or bet a ton of money on the fact that maybe another truck would be tunable down the road. So if there was a body style change between 2016 and 2017, then maybe I would have had a little bit more regret. But being that at the time that I bought this truck, I would have been buying the same body style, just different engine, I don't think I'm really losing out too much. Now I'm sure we'll see what deleted numbers look like on the L5P, and they might be some crazy numbers that are going to be faster than this thing, but that being said, I'm still happy with what I did. But what I am excited about is I know that for the future, we are going to have another tunable platform for however many body styles it lasts. And also, you guys know I've been looking at kind of the medium duty Chevy trucks or GM trucks. I know they have the L5B in them, which is a detuned version of the L5P, but hopefully this whole setup still kind of works for that, because I would love to build a big monster like that, kind of like the Kodiak that we got. So we'll see what the future's going to hold. But all in all, this is great news, especially for all you L5P guys out there. I don't know exactly when PPEI is going to be done with their beta testing, so it might be a minute before we see that. But we've all kind of been saying that whoever got to the finish line first with L5P tunes is going to be handsomely wealthy, if they aren't already. So they're going to be making a ton of money on these. But that being said, the price range is still kind of out of a lot of people's budgets. I know I would be really hard pressed to spend $7,000 to delete a truck.
And perfect timing. Looks like our delivery showed up.
Think if we drop them at the same time, it'll work?
I can drop one.
Try and hold it with the tarp.
Yeah.
So in that, we're bringing two different types of material at once. They put a tarp in between, but we're gonna see if we can dump them without them mixing. Just in the essence of getting everything here in one load. We'll find out. See if that works.
Sounds like we're too heavy there.
Well, let me grab a shovel. Who loaded it?
Oh, I loaded it.
Gotcha. I don't know. Well, here. I'll just shovel it up underneath if we can get this.
So apparently the PTO and the old Ford here didn't appreciate the 2 yards DG up front, the 1 yard, the topsoil on the back, and it didn't want to dump, so we had to shovel a bunch of it out, shift some of it to behind the ram on the PTO. It's kind of what happens on these yard trucks.
A little more. Got a reinforcement, Mesquite. All the boys are showing up.
Third time's the charm. There she is.
Uh-oh. Well, so much for that. Looks like hydraulic fluid. Yeah, that is.
Well, we ended up killing the Ford, so we gotta go old school, right, Mesquite?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna sacarlo todo esto. We're gonna ponle in the bolsas. I think tiene plástico abajo. Pero maybe only ponle 2 pulgadas de the DG, no mucho. Porque mira, aquí es.
Alright, so we're going to pull out all this gravel. We're actually going to end up putting it in these sandbags over here because it's just an easier way to transport it. We're actually going to transport it to another job and use it as fill on a concrete ramp that we're going to be building. So it's all going to work out perfectly and get reused. There you go, look at that. We're green, we're eco-friendly over here. pretty much run out of time today, and we've gotten as far as we can get, which is not finished. We're gonna be back in the morning to really finish this up. As you can see, we've got quite the collection of sandbags here full of gravel. And for those of you guys wondering why we put things in sandbags like that, is because I don't have a place to take them right now. So I could either make this big ugly pile right there, make a mess, put them in your truck, makes a mess, get them out of your truck, scratches your truck, or you put everything in a nice bag. It takes a little bit longer to put it in the bag, but now you can easily manipulate a pretty good amount here of material without really making a mess anywhere. So we got most of it down over here. We got a rough grade. Obviously this is piled up higher because we couldn't leave it in the alley over here. So we've got that all stored up, and then we're starting to get everything kind of graded out in here. And then we ended up with just the perfect amount of topsoil, which is awesome because I don't like having to get rid of or spreading extra stuff. Topsoil is one of the easy ones to really spread around through your yard, so it's not hard to get rid of extra topsoil. But anytime you can calculate out this perfect, that works out. And before anybody says, hey, why'd you bury those posts like that? All these posts have been treated to be underground like they are. That being said, this is also just kind of a temporary setup. I plan on building some kind of cool, crazy structures in the backyard at some point. I've been here for 9 years, so I don't know when that's gonna happen, but that's kind of the way it goes. You know, contractor's house is never done. A mechanic's car is always broken. We just put all of our time and effort into making our clients and our customers happy, that by the time you get home, you either don't have time or the last thing you want to do is start working on your house. So as always, thank you guys for watching my videos, and congratulations again to all of you L5P owners out there. And if you have not already, please hit that subscribe button, that way you can stay updated with my build as well as future diesel tech and future diesel stuff to come. Also, don't forget to give this video a like, aka a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out WORKFORITapparel.com, because if there's anything you want in this life, especially a $7,000 tune delete setup for your truck, you got to be willing to work for it. With that, guys, thanks for watching. I'm out.
Damn. Yeah.